Hey folks, this is Ryan over here at the Esperanza Bike Shop. If you ride a bike in New Mexico, I'm sure you're familiar with these. So today I'm going to show you how to repair a punctured tube. Feel free to click the link in the description to download and print the instruction sheet so you can follow along at home. As far as tools, you'll need some tire levers, patches, sandpaper, and rubber vulcanizing solution, or rubber cement. If you need help removing the wheel from your bike, check out our wheel removal video on the same channel. This video is a basic introduction to this repair, but not all bikes are built the same, so if you're unable to follow, or you aren't sure your bike is safe to ride after you've gone through it, I encourage you to take your bike over to your local bike shop for a safety check. And of course, always wear your helmet. Okay, the first thing we need to do is get the tube out of the tire. In order to do that, we're going to need to remove any remaining air from the tube in order to make it a little easier to get it out of the tire. It'll make your life a lot easier. So you're going to take the corner of your tire lever, take it to the valve right here, and we're going to use that to push the button inside the valve and remove any remaining air from that tube. Next, you want to break the bead of the tire off of the hook of the rim and move the bead of the tire towards the center of the rim. You're going to do that by pushing with your thumbs on the edge, and you'll feel it separate from the rim. And we want to go all the way around the whole wheel, like so. And then the other side as well. So I'm pulling it towards me now to break that bead away from the rim. Okay, next you're going to take your flathead screwdriver. Look, I know a lot of people were taught to use these, but it's a really good way to poke a hole in your tube or damage your rim. I really recommend you go over to the local bike shop and pick up some tire levers if you don't already have some on hand. They're only a couple of bucks and they're going to save you a lot of pain in the long run. Next, you're going to take your tire lever. You're going to peel back the tire and put the spoon-shaped part of your tire lever under the tire like so. You'll use that then to pry that out, and then slide your tire lever along the edge of the tire, and it should unzip just like a zipper. Sometimes you're going to put your tire lever in just like we talked about, and you try to push in either direction, but it's just not going to go. It's just a little too tight. So your tire lever will have a small hook on it that you can use to hook it to a spoke, like so. And you can grab a second tire lever. You want to count 2 to 3 spokes over and put the second tire lever in the same way you did the first. And that's going to pull the whole area between the two tire levers out, which should loosen things up and make it a little bit easier to break that bead loose. Once you've gotten one whole side of the tire off of the rim, you're going to reach in, grab your tube, and pull that out of the tire. Ending at the valve, which you can just pull right on out. Okay, now what we need to do is find the hole in the tube. We got to figure out where that hole is so we can patch it up. So the next thing you need to do is put some air into the tube. You don't need a whole lot, but just enough that it holds its shape, expands a little bit. Now that you have some air in the tube, you're going to find some water. Sometimes if you're lucky enough to be riding near the river, you can use river water. I generally try to carry a spare tube and then do my patching at home. So at home you can use a sink or a bathtub or a bucket of water just like this one. And you're going to take your tube. Generally I like to start at the valve so that you have a point of reference to know when you've gone all the way around. And you're going to just start putting your tube through the water a little bit at a time until you find where the air is bubbling out, and that will be where your puncture is. Okay, I'm just going to run that tube through the water, and there it is. You can see where there's some bubbles coming out of that tube. So I'm generally going to reach down into the water. I'm going to put my thumb right over where the bubbles are coming out. And you want to keep track of that because it can be very difficult to find that hole once it's out of the water. You want to try to dry it off a little bit. Then, now that you know where your puncture is, you're going to take a ballpoint pen and draw a great big X so that you can find your puncture later. Now that we know where your hole is and we've got that nice and clearly marked with your X, I'm going to take your sandpaper and we're going to rough that surface up real good and rough. It gives it more surface area for the rubber cement to stick to, which is going to make your patch stick a little bit more securely. Okay, you may notice that a lot of that X kind of disappears when you sand it off. It's okay to go back and draw that X back on before you lose it. Give yourself a little point of reference there. So once we get the glue on there, it's going to be even harder to see. We're going to take our rubber cement and we're going to put a very thin layer of rubber cement over your X. You want the patch of glue to be larger than the diameter of the patch you're going to put on. And spread it out real big. You can't really use too much, but it can be too thick. So you want to make sure it's a nice thin layer. Now here's the tricky part. This is where people go wrong. You want to let that glue dry for about 5 minutes before you put the patch on. Before we put the tube back in the tire, it's important to make sure that whatever gave you your flat the first time isn't about to give you another one. So we want to reach inside the tire here and very carefully run your fingers along the inside of the tire and feel for anything that's poking through, whether it's a goat head, a staple, a nail, a piece of glass. Now, a lot of those things can be very sharp, so you want to be really careful not to puncture yourself the way that your tube was just punctured. Now that your glue's been drying for about 5 minutes, you'll notice it doesn't look quite as shiny as it did before. It's a little bit of a matte finish now. And that's a good sign that it's time to go ahead and put your patch on. So we're going to take your patch. We want to grab the patch by this little piece of cellophane here and peel the silver liner off, just like that. And it's very important that we don't touch that orange spot on the patch, the part that's going to touch the tube. You want to keep that very clean. You have oils on your fingers that will stop that from sticking properly, so you want to make sure you don't actually touch that with your skin. From here, we're going to take that, we're going to lay it right over your hole, right where your X was, and then you want to push down real hard on that. Roll it around, make sure there's no air bubbles, make sure there's nothing that's going to let that air leak out. I'm going to push down on that for about a full minute. Now that your patch is firmly glued to your tube, you may notice this cellophane is still on here. You want to resist the temptation to pull that off because you could very easily just pull the patch right off as well. It actually takes about 24 hours for that patch glue to fully dry. So you also want to resist the temptation to test your work by inflating the tube, because you could also just blow that patch off or potentially create small leaks that'll let the air out of there. So we're going to leave that alone. We're going to trust our work, and we're going to go ahead and put the tube back into your tire. So the first thing you need to do is locate your valve on your tube. And there should still be a little bit of air in your tube. You want it to be enough to hold its shape. It doesn't have to be super huge. You still need to be able to get it into your tire, but you want it to hold its shape, because if you try to put it in flat, you could very easily pinch the side of the tube and give yourself another hole, another puncture, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. So we're going to take our wheel, and we're going to locate the valve hole in the wheel, which is right there. And you're going to go ahead and put the valve of your tube into the valve hole on your rim, just like that. Then you're going to take your tire and just kind of pop that over the tube right here, just like so. And then you're going to go around and stuff the tube into the tire all the way around like this. Okay. You also want to make sure you kind of roll the tube so that it's in between the walls of the rim, not sitting on the outside by your brake surface, like that. Okay, then again, we're going to start at the valve, and this time we're going to take our thumbs and start to roll this bead of the tire over the edge of the rim, just like so. Should be able to do most of this without any tools. When you get about 3/4 of the way around, generally you want to start back at the valve and start working in the other direction. It's going to get a little tight right at the end. Most of the time you can still do this with no tools, and if you can, that's better, because you're less likely to give yourself a flat with the tool itself. If you're getting to that really stubborn part, if you find where the tire goes from inside the rim to outside the rim and push just right there with your thumb, you should be able to roll it right over into the rim until the whole thing snaps in, just like so. If you get to that last section that's being very stubborn, you can't quite get it over the edge, you can take your tire lever. You want to be very careful not to pinch your tube between the tire lever and the edge of your rim. So you want to put your tire lever in pretty close to the edge of where the tire goes from inside the rim to outside the rim. Kind of tuck it up under, and this is where you want to be really careful that you're only hitting the rim and not the tube. And you can just lift that up and use that to snap the tire into the rim. The last thing you need to do now that everything is in is reinflate the tire. If you look on your tire, there will be a PSI rating, and you want to make sure that you stick within that rating. It's going to be a range generally. This one is 60 to 80 PSI. If you're going to be doing a lot of off-roading, I would recommend down the lower end of that range, so 65 or so. If you're going to be mainly on pavement, you're going to want to go to the higher end of that range. That's all there is to it. From here, I'll throw on my helmet and take a short, slow speed test ride just to make sure everything feels proper. And again, please take your bike over to your local bike shop if you even suspect something might not be safe. Thanks for wrenching, and stay tuned to Albuquerque's Parks and Rec channel for more videos. Ride safe.